Good morning, friends. Another beautiful day on the ranch. Thank you so much for getting here this morning to join us. We appreciate it so much. Welcome to Sunburst Sanctuary. My name is Curtis, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to sit with you here today. So here in this room, we have images of the teachers that form the foundation upon which the community of Sunburst has been built. These teachers have brought to us all the technique of Kriya Yoga meditation, which we practice and teach. So here we have Norm Paulsen, the founder of Sunburst. And Norm, as a young man, spent 5 years as a monk with Paramahansa Yogananda, who taught him this technique of meditation. Yogananda's teacher was Sri Yukteswar, and he's the gentleman over there in orange. His teacher, from whom he learned the technique, was Lahiri Mahasaya, who is just next to him in white. Lahiri received his teaching and initiation from the deathless saint Babaji in 1861 in the foothills of the Himalayas. In his autobiography at page 262, Yogananda explained that Babaji is ever in communion with Christ. Together, they send out vibrations of redemption and have planned the spiritual technique of salvation for this age. Yogananda has honored Christ as the apex of the lineage and wrote the 2-volume work titled The Second Coming of Christ, The Resurrection of the Christ Within You. Next Sunday is Easter Sunday. According to the historical record, 1 week before Jesus' resurrection, he returned to Jerusalem and was lovingly welcomed by the people. It's known today as Palm Sunday, and here we are. This coming Thursday recalls Jesus' Last Supper with his closest followers, the night he humbled himself and washed their feet, setting an example of a leader who will serve others. Friday, he was crucified and killed, and Easter Sunday, he rose again. Yogananda wrote about Palm Sunday on page 1257. I told you it's a 2-volume work. And he said this: spiritually interpreted as relevant to man in every age, Jesus' triumphant entry into the city of Jerusalem inspires a beautiful symbology. Man's consciousness is the city of Jerusalem. His thoughts and feelings are the inhabitants. Jesus coming into Jerusalem evokes the opening of the gates of man's devotion to receive the entrance of Christ consciousness in its omniscient power into the bodily kingdom. He went on. The literal event, this striking day in Jesus' life, speaks once again of his cosmic Christ consciousness, in which nothing was outside his perception and command. With a few simple words, he directed two of his disciples to an exact, distant location where they would find an as yet unridden colt, and further empowered his messengers to procure the beast by offering nothing more than the ambiguous explanation, because the Lord has need of him. That Christ would choose the lowly donkey for his mount is as symbolic as his way of life as was his birth in a stable. The Prince of Peace, whose only battle cry would be victory to the meek. He rode no fiery charger amidst a great army, but sat on a gentle steed, small and serviceable to the daily ways of peace. Verily, this king before whom the multitudes spread their palm branches demonstrated once again that a Son of God declares his dominion in meekness and lowliness of pride. So happy Palm Sunday to us all. And here we are enjoying the sunshine on this beautiful morning. I forget sometimes that our sun is a flaming ball of fire of an enormous size, way beyond my wildest imagining. Our flaming sun star is suspended in space, and around it we fly in an orbit on a planet covered almost entirely by water called Earth. We breathe sweet air, somehow surrounded by the vacuum of infinite space. Fire, water, air, and earth. These are the primary elements of nature, foundational to all life forms on the planet. And the topic for today is living in harmony with nature. And this has also been the goal of Sunburst since the very beginning. The Sunburst Community began in 1969 in Santa Barbara. By the mid-1970s, under Norm's leadership and through his inspiration, it had grown and built upon the core principle of daily meditation embodied in the concept of living in harmony with nature. I'd like to read a passage from the preface to the Sunburst Farm Family Cookbook, which was published in 1976, written by Susan Duquette, because it captures this concept in such a beautiful way. And Susan wrote, "Our desire is to follow the simple laws of God and nature. In order to create an environment in which this is possible, we have established 4 communities upon thousands of acres of farm and ranch land in the coastal communities, coastal mountains around Santa Barbara, California. We try to care for our basic needs by relying on the land. We have our own gardens and field crops. We rear livestock, build our homes, make some of our own clothing, shoes, and pottery, experiment with alternative energy sources, and are learning other necessary skills. We also have a small community living on our old wooden schooner called Star Pilot. We used it for fishing and, of course, sailing and experiencing the ocean. In order to help support ourselves and to share with other people our way of life, we've established a large organic foods complex in Santa Barbara called Sunburst Organic Foods. This organization includes a large wholesale warehouse that ships food to stores across the country, 6 large retail markets, a community store, a restaurant called The Farmer and the Fisherman, a whole grain bakery, and a juice bottling plant that distributes along the West Coast. Our dream is to provide a home in natural surroundings for people who long to live a simple, virtuous life, full of love and service to each other and to all mankind as God intended. We hope, through our efforts and example, we may help to bring the Garden of Eden back to this, our Mother Earth. Since then, the community has evolved to become the sanctuary that we all enjoy here on the ranch. With the internet and through events that are held here, people from all over can join us for daily meditations and instruction. Here on the land, we continue Norm's dream of living in harmony with nature through sustainable rangeland management and ranching practices. Our permaculture garden and orchard are not just a food source, but an educational resource where people can come and learn gardening practices to use at home. And of course, the New Frontiers Market in Solvang remains a beacon of light for the larger community, filled with wholesome organic food and helpful employees. It is an ongoing testament to the spiritual entrepreneurism that Norm began. Living in harmony with nature is the intended order of things. We are guided into this natural order by the voice of intuition, that quiet voice within. The voice and clarity of our intuition is developed and strengthened in quiet meditation. Together now, we will enter the temple of peace within our hearts, and we will enjoy a 15-minute silent meditation. If you're new to meditation, just relax, sit up straight, shoulders down and back, chin parallel to the floor. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. To quiet the busy mind, it can help to concentrate on the breath itself simply by counting 1, 2, 3, 4 as we inhale. Pause for that 4 count. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause again for the 4 count and repeat. Let yourself be drawn into the place of deep peace. As we begin our meditation, I want to share some of Norm's thoughts on a harmonious relationship with spirit in nature. These passages are from the pre-internet newsletters titled Solar Winds. And this from volume 3, number 1, a piece titled Recreate with God. Norm wrote, "Do you hear that creek running? Do you hear those waters rushing down the mountain on their way to the sea? Listen to them. Meditate upon nature. You did not create it, God did. It is the visible body of spirit, the voice crying in the wilderness. Behold the wind in the trees. What a sound. The elements of air pressing against the elements of earth. Once understanding this communion, God speaks to you in a voice from all space, calling you by name and giving you love and direction in your life. Allow your heart to commune with God and nature. Find a pristine environment that makes your heart swell with joy and love. Embrace the solitude. Spirit, I am that I am, the pure self within you, will come forward through your senses to commune with you in nature. Look at that sun shining out there. Look at that blue sky and the waters upon the earth. What a miracle. Look at the mountains and valleys covered with Mother's natural images, her garden. Look out into infinity, stretching away from us, filled with planets, stars, and galaxies. We are surrounded by the living presence of God in all images and life forms. Norm wrote a beautiful poem prayer describing the love that Spirit has for each one of us and the love that each one of us can develop for Spirit and one another. My love, my beloved, wherever you are, I'll be there beside you. I'll never be far. In the sunrise, in the sunset, in the starlight above, you will hear my soul whisper of eternal love. On the clear lakes of calmness, the image is clear. Our love lies unmoving till ripples appear. We ride on the wind now and laugh in the rain. The earth has new meaning. We're one and the same. From the crests of the mountains to the valleys below, we sail on the rivers that endlessly flow. To the sea now, to be now at one with the source, is the goal of the rivers that follow their course. In a sphere now we're moving away from the stars. We'll encompass them all, eternities, ours. The endless, the eternal, our love has no bounds. We go on expanding, we wear the same crown. We're rivers of sound and worlds without end, the love, the beloved, the eternal friend. Ever new is the joy, ever new is the bliss. The whole of creation within us exists. The source of it all now has become love alone, ever new and unending. It resides on the throne. Amen.